Yeah, fresh farmed raised lamb from Sims Ponds Farm in LaGrange, Georgia. Have a rib roast right here. Look how beautiful the rib roast look. I'll be cooking this today. Just a beautiful selection of meat. There's just one of the rib roasts that I will be cooking. And here's the other rib roast as well. Some of the finest meat, lamb meat, that you will ever find on this side of heaven. And once again, this is the rib roast, and I'll probably be cutting this up into pieces as well. We also have the shoulder, the lamb shoulder I'll be cooking, and hopefully I have a Mediterranean recipe that I'll be using for these specific cuts of lamb. That's one shoulder. Here's the other shoulder as well. Danny Sims can tell you everything you would like to know about this meat from birth to processing. And we also have some lower lamb legs as well. I'll be cooking those. My first time ever cooking the lower lamb legs, and here they are. The Mediterranean recipe. I know we'll be using parsley, onions, tomato sauce, garlic, red wine, thyme, rosemary, and a few other ingredients. So hopefully you will enjoy. And here are all the ingredients I'm going to be using for the Mediterranean lamb for the shoulder steaks. We have the tomato sauce, onions, mushrooms, carrots, thyme, rosemary. Yes, fresh rosemary. I have an herb garden in the back of my yard. What a delight it is just to go out and be able to pick this and to use it to cook with. We have garlic, we have the parsley, the red cooking wine, the olive oil, the black pepper, and salt. And I would recommend that when you are using salt, that you use the Himalayan salt. It has a lot of minerals in it, and it's good for regulating people with high blood pressure. So these are the ingredients that I will be using for the Mediterranean shoulder steak lamb. And here is the first phase of the Mediterranean lamb. This is the olive oil, carrots, onions, garlic, Himalayan salt, and pepper. Have to let this saute for about 7 minutes. I actually decided to do the rib roast a little different with one of my favorite marinades. I cannot share with you the secret of the brown sauce that's already in the dish, but I will be adding garlic to the marinade as well. Just some freshly clove garlic, rosemary, fresh rosemary. You don't want to use too much of the rosemary. It's very strong and it really does the job. Also black pepper, and I like black pepper, so I go heavy on the black pepper sometimes. No harm in that. And so what I'll do, I'll just mix this up just a little. Just a little. And now I will add my rib roast to this. I have 4 pieces, and I will actually be grilling the rib roast. And for the shoulder steaks, the Mediterranean steaks, I'll actually be cooking them in the oven. So we're going to let these marinate for about an hour. And that's a little different from me because sometimes I like to marinate a whole day. But an hour is just as fine. As I shared with you earlier, we're going to do the rib roast out here on the grill. And I just prefer charcoal. I have a gas grill, but it's something about the lamb on the charcoal that just sets well with me. So we're going to add the rib roast to the grill. Going to do it bone side up first. Like I said, this marinade has no sodium in it. Well, it has sodium in it, but I did not add any salt to it. And like I said, it's a secret. Maybe I'll tell you about it one day. Not sure. As you can see, that garlic, rosemary, and the brown seasoning. And now I'm just going to reach over here and grab the lower leg lamb. And the only thing I put on these was just salt and pepper. I want to see how they're going to turn out, because I never actually grilled the lower lamb leg before. So now, there we go. Just added the lamb shoulder. We're going to sear for about 4 minutes on each side. This is the second process, second phase of the Mediterranean lamb shoulder. Just seared the lamb shoulder 4 minutes on one side. Now we're doing 4 minutes on the other side. Boy, that looks great, doesn't it? The lamb rib roast is doing just fine. Slow heat. And by the way, I added a little more black pepper to them, which there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't load up on that salt. I'm going to turn them over to the fat side just for a brief moment to let some of that fat cook. Look at that. Look at that. Danny Sims at Sims Pond. Some of the best lamb you'll ever taste. You know, a lot of times you can get your lamb in some of the local chains, you know, Kroger, Aldi's, Publix, or whatnot. But I guarantee you they will never be as fresh tasting as the farm-raised lamb that Danny Sims have out at Sims Pond Farms in LaGrange, Georgia. Just look at that. Just look at that smoke coming out. From the rib roast. All right, gonna turn those over because that fat cooks kind of fast. Just look at there. Actually, I'm just gonna lay them on their side for a second. I'm telling you, you need to visit Danny Sims at Sims Pond Farm in LaGrange, Georgia for some of the best lamb that you'll ever taste. Set these legs up here because I've never cooked them before, so I'm going to let them smoke just a little bit. But look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. The lamb rib roast has probably had enough heat on it. Look at that. Wow. I'm actually going to set them up just a little bit higher so they can just simmer now and not really cook anymore. Move on up just a little higher. Look at that. I'm sorry, I wish you could all taste this, but it's just going to be for me and my family. But if you want to be able to create something like this, you need to call Danny Sims from Sims Farms and go purchase some of this top quality farm to table lamb. And you can do the same thing that I'm doing in the comforts of your own home. And now here's the third phase of the Mediterranean lamb shoulder. This is where I combine the mushrooms, thyme, rosemary, and zucchini. There are the seared shoulders, and there is the first phase with the carrots and the onions and the garlic. Now here is the carrot, onion, garlic mixture with everything else. The zucchini, thyme, rosemary. And now we will actually add the red cooking wine. Calls for a cup. And we'll let this cook for about 2 minutes. Then we will stir in the tomato sauce, and they will have to simmer for about 2 hours. Now we just added the shoulder steaks to all the vegetables. Now we will need to simmer for about 2 hours so that all of the lamb will be falling off of the bone. Wow. And here is the finished rib roast. Look at that. Grilled. That's going to be tasty, juicy. That's what you get when you buy lamb from Sims Ponds Farm with Danny Sims. Make sure you give him a call and he can tell you everything you need to know. Look at that. Look at all the juices on the bottom from the rib roast. Just beautiful. And by the way, I've washed my hands. And here are the lower leg lambs. I'll be tasting this as well. It's been grilled. Look at that. Wow. And here is the finished Mediterranean lamb shoulder steak. Has some wild rice to go with that. And Mom said, don't forget your vegetables. But look at that lamb from Sims Pond Farms in LaGrange, Georgia. And here is the finished plate. As you can see, we have the lamb rib roast that we cooked on the grill. We have our fresh squash, our wild rice, and our Mediterranean lamb, which is a shoulder steak of the lamb. You can get this lamb at Danny Sims Farm, Sims Pond Farms in LaGrange, Georgia. Give them a call. And lamb is a delicacy. It's gonna cost, but it's worth it if you like it, because it's been fed everything natural, and Danny Sims can tell you all about that. So now it's time for my favorite part. Let's go eat. Sims Pond Farms, located in LaGrange, Georgia, has every premium cut imaginable as it relates to lamb. And Danny Sims, owner and operator, can give you all types of information in regards to the lamb he raised, all the way from birth to processing. Here's just few cuts that we would like to highlight. We have the lollipop chops, the rib roast. We have succo buku, the lower leg. We also have the ribs, center chops, ground lamb, rack of lamb, the shoulder steaks, ground lamb. We also have lamb bones as well, which are great for flavoring and seasoning that special dish you would like to prepare in the crock pot. And for those of you who are kind of adventurous, we also have lamb liver, lamb heart, lamb kidneys, also lamb testicles.